I didn't scream when they ruined my life. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. That silence is what convinced them they had already won. My name is Bernice. I am the kind of woman people describe as reliable, predictable, safe. The kind you assume will accept whatever is handed to her and quietly make peace with it. That assumption is where they failed. It started the way these things always do, politely. Conversations whispered in rooms I wasn't invited into. Decisions made for my own good. Smiles that lasted just a second too long. They told people I was getting confused, that I forgot things, that I was no longer capable of handling responsibility. And when a lie is repeated calmly enough, people stop questioning it. I noticed the changes before anyone thought I would. Passwords stopped working. Documents disappeared. Meetings happened without my knowledge. I was still breathing, still thinking, still watching. But on paper, I was already gone. What they didn't understand is this. When someone erases you quietly, they expect you to disappear just as quietly. I didn't. I stayed very still. And I listened. Silence is uncomfortable for people who believe they are in control. That's why they kept talking. They grew bold, careless. They spoke freely around me, assuming I no longer understood. They used my name like a tool, signed things, promised things, spent things, and I let them, because every careless word became a record. Every decision left a trail. Every lie required another lie to support it. I wrote nothing down where they could find it. I saved nothing where they could search. I memorized patterns, time's connections. Revenge that lasts is never rushed. It is built quietly while everyone else celebrates early. They mistook my calm for surrender. They mistook my patience for weakness. That mistake cost them everything. There was a moment, just one, when they crossed from selfish into reckless. They used my name to open a door that could not legally be opened. That was the moment I stopped protecting them. Not with anger, with clarity before. I tell you what followed. Subscribe, like, and share this story. And stay with me. Because what happened next didn't hurt loudly. It ended permanently. I didn't confront them. I didn't warn them. I prepared. I spoke only to people who understood silence. People who work in records, not emotions. People who care about signatures, not excuses. Everything was checked twice, then checked again. While they laughed, while they planned, while they counted what they thought they already owned. They invited me back into rooms I had been removed from. Suddenly I mattered again. Suddenly they needed my approval. I smiled. Because the outcome was already sealed. People believe revenge is explosive, dramatic, public. They are wrong. The most effective revenge is administrative. It arrives without emotion, and it cannot be argued with. The night everything shifted. I wasn't present. I was at home, calm. The first call came late. The second call came late by the third. Their voices were shaking. Something was wrong, very wrong. Accounts froze without explanation. Meetings were canceled. Doors stopped opening. They asked questions, then demanded answers. Then they searched for me. I didn't answer because by the time they realized what was happening, it was already finished. Everything they had built using my silence collapsed under documentation. Not accusations, not arguments, facts, signed, filed, stamped. They weren't punished. They were corrected. There is a difference. One of them asked if I hated them. I didn't. Hate requires energy. What I felt was resolution. I left them exactly what they left me. Nothing they could use. Nothing they could change. Nothing they could undo. They expected forgiveness. Closure, a conversation. They didn't get one. What they received was finality. A clear statement. Legal, unemotional, permanent. It didn't destroy them publicly. It erased them privately. People stopped calling. Opportunities dried up. Rooms grew quiet. They learned something too late. When you erase someone who is still watching, you don't create a victim. You create a witness. And witnesses remember everything. They thought revenge meant destruction. I taught them it means removal. And in my world, I never strike twice.